Hello. So here we are in the kitchen, and what I wanted to do is just show you a simulated breakfast. He's already had his breakfast, so this is going to be a quick deal. But I just want to kind of show you the process that we use and show you the value of the routine here. So, yeah, I know. You want your breakfast? Got a saddle. Nice. So they are both in their positions. Let me move this weight around so you can see them better. We are not great at our placement. So as you can see, they don't actually have their mat or station present because they are really used to this. So they do this every morning. It's not morning. We're pretending it is. But the cue to them is just their bowl. So like they see their bowl, here it is. We got a little bit of a easier, quicker breakfast because they've already eaten, so they don't need to be too fat. But they've got in their places. This is exactly where I want them to be. We established this first by their raised beds. Then we use their mats, and then normally they just sit like this because they're used to it, so they know he knows he's supposed to be here, he's supposed to be here. But every so often, like, once or twice, like once a week, I'll add in their mat, so they keep that framework. Because a mat is easy. It's easy to recognize where exactly they're supposed to be placed. And what we really want it to get to be is like a conditioned, calming response, and that's the same as their stations. So, right now though, just kind of making the point that the routine is really strong. So because they're used to the mats being in place, they're going to the same exact place I want them to be. They're also, he's offering me calmness to show me he's a very calm, good boy. I know, nice job. Because he knows that's what I want. And this is, once again, what you want to see is that by practicing calmness, you're going to get a dog that's used to it. So just recognizing the elements of the setup here, he's already offering me what I want. So they're in the positions that I want. Once again, it's a behavior that they're used to. They practiced it. Which the reason I wanted to bring that point up is just that you want to think about what you want to use your stations for. Because your dog's going to pick up on when it's used. So if you use it every time you go in the enclosure, you want them to go to the station so that they are calm when you enter the enclosure. You want to kind of establish that every time, because eventually the dog wants to get reinforcement as fast as possible. So they are going to anticipate what you're going to do, and they're going to go to the position on their own, or hopefully they will. But like I said, these guys did. It's not breakfast time, but as soon as they recognized this bowl, they knew exactly what we were doing, and they went to their positions because they're used to it. That is how powerful a routine can be, especially when paired with a physical symbol like a mat or a station, or any place or spot where they would go to be calm. So once again, we didn't start off this way. At first the dogs couldn't eat together. We had to separate, and then we moved them closer and closer using their stations, their raised beds, because a raised bed is easiest to teach on, or some type of raised platform, because it is very concrete. It is very it's visual. It's a visual thing where they can see that boundary very clearly if it's raised up. After they're used to that raised boundary, it becomes very easy to transfer it to a mat, something smaller, because they're used to staying on that boundary already. And then once again, if they're used to it enough, they will go to that position on their own, like you see here, where they don't even really need that mat anymore, because they know that when they see, when I do the setup, when I do our routine, I come in with the bowl, I sit down, they know they're eating, so they're going to be sitting where I want them on their own without me really having to even ask, because of the power of that routine. So I just wanted to kind of show you why you're using that framework. I know. And he just pawed me, which is because he's like, why are you talking to that camera and not reinforcing me? So I'm going to ask him for a little calmness first, then chin touch. Chin. That's just one calming behavior we can teach so that he knows he's going to get reinforced for the calmness. But once again, he's just kind of doing that because he doesn't know why I'm talking to the camera and not paying attention to him. What I'm kind of waiting for is for them to be calm. I don't want them mugging my hand. Once again, the bowl is with me and I'm distributing it to them, you know, at my own pace. But once I give it to them, it is theirs. I do not take it back. I expect them not to rush this bowl. I expect them not to rush my hand. But once I give it to them, it is theirs. So this is just a drumstick right now because they already ate, so they're not going to get their full quarters. But like I said, when I offer it to them, I kind of give it to him, just hold it loosely. If he was to grab it and run off, that's fine. It's not really what I want, but I'm certainly not going to punish him for it. I'm just going to let him go, and then next time I might think, maybe this structure is too loose. Maybe I need to add back in a mat. If he did it, you know, with a mat, then I might think, maybe they need to go back to their raised beds, or maybe they need to be separated because maybe he's too excited to be able to be this calm to do this. But once again, he's pretty good about it. He does it every day. Both of them have kind of learned that it's kind of beneficial for me to hold this because it's easier for them to eat. Like, you can eat around it, and you know, it's just basically he's kind of learned that I'm helping him hold his food, helping him get it. So they're not worried about me being here because they know I'm not taking their food. And he knows if he decided he wants to eat on his own and he grabbed that chicken, I'm going to let him do it. And we're just going to put the framework in place better next time. Because generally when a dog fails at something that you're trying to get them to do, you don't really want to think of it as a failure. You just want to think, why did that happen? Was he not motivated enough to complete the exercise? Was he too overstimulated, or was the framework that we wanted to be in place, was it just not clear enough? Once again, it's usually pretty clear, and he's usually pretty good. But we just wanted to make the point that that's kind of the power of that routine, where they're used to being calm when they see a certain setup, so they're probably always going to be calm during that setup. And the more that you do it, the more that you establish that routine and do that every time, the better they're going to be.